Well, hey everybody, I'm Jack. Welcome to another episode of Raw Tropical Living. About to head out the door to the gym in a few minutes and thought I would do a video before I went. Getting back to that gym, I kind of took a little hiatus there, having, traveled, going to Woodstock, and there I worked out. What did I work out? I worked out a couple of days when I got back last week, but now it's time to get into it for good. Anyhow, today I want to talk about the raw vegan lifestyle and from the aspect of how much, how many, ratios, questions I get a lot. So, guys, I do these videos every day, so if you haven't already done it, please go hit that subscribe button now and then click right next to it on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll be sure and stay subscribed. And I talk about this all the time. I get a lot of questions, and as many probably on Instagram and various other social media that as I do comments and stuff like how much, how many, what is the ratio of that? And to be honest, I'm a mess. You can't be watching me for that kind of stuff. If you're into those like real details, there's probably somebody else you would more be suited to, but maybe you can get something from me anyway. Because that's just not how I do. That's not how I roll. That doesn't resonate with me whatsoever on this lifestyle. In fact, that's what I enjoyed almost from the very beginning. Was the beauty of this lifestyle was not having to think in the old way. And the old way being, and that's what a lot of people do. So many approach this lifestyle with the old school diet mentality, like you're coming to a diet and everything has to be, portions and numbers and ratios and all of this. Now, what I'm saying, I'm not necessarily saying that's not important. It's just that I don't do it in a formal way, and I'm going to explain a little bit of kind of my process of doing it. It's kind of chaos, and it's probably not going to work for anybody else, but it works for me. I did a comparison not too long ago, and if you don't play poker, you probably won't get it, but anybody that plays poker out there or knows a little bit about really playing poker, all this Texas Hold'em and stuff, that it's hugely math. Like the best players out there are crazy smart when it comes to math, and they know this poker math like this. Now there's a lot of them that can sit there and they can explain that poker math, and they can write it out, and it's kind of like it's something that's formal. It's something that they actually know how and why they do their poker math. And then there's other players, old school players, that if they were looking at a book talking about poker math, they'd be like, yeah, I don't do any of this. I don't even know what this is. But they kind of instinctively know the math in their head. And when they're playing, they are playing with good, proper poker math. Well, I'm not going to say I'm the equivalent of a great poker player in this lifestyle, but whatever success means, I feel like I've been successful. I feel good all the time. That's the main thing. That's always going to be the main thing, how good I feel. So when people ask me, it's almost like, you just didn't see the beauty of this lifestyle when, I'm sharing something psychedelic, colorful on Instagram, and it's like ingredients, recipe, very stiff, very straight ingredients. How much? How many? How much? And most of the time, my answer is as honest as it can be. I don't know. I'm not sitting there every time, okay, let's see, I put X amount of this in. But there is a little bit of method to my madness. And one reason that I like bananas. I love bananas. I don't get tired of bananas. I don't find bananas boring. I love them. So it works out perfectly for me, and that's why I kind of mentally use bananas as the base of my lifestyle. They probably do. I'm sure they make up the bulk of my calories. All right, here's how I do. I know roughly that a banana's about, give or takes, about 100 calories. Bigger's more, smaller's less. So I'm kind of, I always kind of have an idea or a general idea throughout the day about how many bananas I've eaten, which gives me, at least that base. Okay, I know if I've eaten X amount of bananas in a day, that I have gotten at least this many calories, and then we just start thinking, okay, what else have I eaten besides this? But like I say, when people are asking me numbers, calories, I don't all do it by that either, just by, okay, let's see, I have 7 bananas in there, so we'll just say about 700 calories. I go by volume. I've gotten really, you know, I can see where things come up to, like in my Vitamix or when I'm making portions of things. I mean, I can tell when I'm making a smoothie and I'm just dropping, you know, banana after banana after banana. I realize, and I notice that sometimes that, let's see, those bananas I had 2 days ago weren't so big, and I ended up putting about 9, maybe 10 bananas in this smoothie. Then I'll be making another smoothie, and I guess the bananas are bigger, and I'm like, oh, I only probably put about 7 bananas in this one. But I can tell by my Vitamix, or I can tell by even after I've made an ice cream or whatever, the volume. I just can kind of see that volume. So for me, it's not so much about calories as it is volume, but I do kind of have a rough guesstimation of the calories I think I need to maintain my body weight, which I guesstimate is about 3,000. And I wouldn't even say that I wouldn't even like want to say a range, like what's the possible error in there, you know, it could be 300 or 400 either way, but like I say, by volume, I kind of know. Another thing is I'm just always saying, I say this and it just is what it is. It's not me trying to make you feel bad, oh, I can eat whatever I want to, but I kind of can. It's like, you know, people talking about how much to eat, or can I eat too much, or kind of leaning towards a mentality of eating too much on this lifestyle. I don't really know what that means, in a sense of, if I'm keeping my diet clean, and by clean I mean i.e., you know, pretty much whole foods, whether it's bananas or ice cream or, you know, whatever, without a lot of ingredients, without processed food, and without fat. People do not want to hear that message, and immediately the second you say fat, they don't even, like, they mishear, they go off in another direction. Well, fat's not bad, fat's not bad. I never said fat was bad. You just really need to, if there's going to be any numbers, you know, you probably need to get a little bit more intimate with how much fat is actually in the food you're taking in. That I would advise counting on calories on. That I would advise taking notice on, because I think so many people out there think they're doing low fat, but if they actually did do that math, they're not doing low fat. They're not. You know, if you just roughly start guesstimating, you know, 10%. 10%, that is, if 10%, we'll just say for measure, we'll say split the difference between somebody that's needs 2,000 a day and me with 3,000. Let's say 2,500 calories a day. If you're staying to 10% fat, you know, you're taking about 250 calories of fat in on that. Now, I don't remember, avocado's not fresh on my brain right now, but I'm pretty sure that's not a full avocado. Yeah, a full avocado, a decent sized avocado, would have more than 250 calories. But once again, not getting caught up in specific details right there. And like I say, I really want to double down on that. And, you know, somebody will argue and we'll get the good old, well, everybody's body's is different, which is true to an extent, We're not that much different. I mean, you know, come on, let's be real. Why? Other species out there don't vary that much, but we're all different. But what I'm saying is I just don't know how it's possible. Like I say, I don't have like that natural metabolism. It wasn't like I grew up being able to eat anything I wanted to. I was a fat kid. I was like everybody else. I was kind of heavier, meaning, you know, lifted a lot of weights, but drank a lot of beer and ate a lot of garbage food. So throughout the years, up until about 6 years ago, when I came to this lifestyle, anytime I needed to drop weight, anytime I wanted to lose some weight, get less fat, I had to do those same things, and I had to restrict. So I wasn't a natural. I'm not one of those natural people. But on this lifestyle, I literally, without eating too much fat in there, on raw, I cannot eat too much. I can't, like, inadvertently, like, that's what I'm always saying, and it's not being judgmental, it's just if we're trying to get to real answers and we're not just trying to, you know, all tiptoe around each other, that's why I just say, I call BS when people are like, you know, they're getting fat and they think they're eating clean. I mean, you know, when somebody, you don't just gain 10 to 15 pounds on the raw vegan lifestyle for no reason, just because you're off on your numbers just a little bit. I mean, I have to work. I've worked, you know, and I'll do it again this winter to put a little bit of solid weight back on. I have to focus on my eating every day to actually gain a little bit of weight and keep it on. And listen, okay, all our bodies are different, blah, 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 blah. But unless you've got some health issue, really medical circumstance that's way over my head to deal with, and the exceptions are not that many. If 100 people come to me telling me this same thing, I'm thinking about maybe 10 of them really have that exception. But exception is, that word is used because of its meaning. An exception means an exception, not that many, not that many. So, you know, sometimes you've also got to just be a little bit realistic here, you know. We can eat so much, we can enjoy the fat. There's ways to stretch that fat. You know, there's so many different recipes, low fat, higher fat. And I don't want to get off and turn this one into a fat thing, but really to boil it all down for you here, although boiling is not raw. Bad, 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 Jack. We can't boil, that's over 118. But to sum it all up, it's just not about the numbers. It's more like embracing this lifestyle and learning to eat. Now, I'm not discouraging. I'm not even discouraging people. I've never used Chronometer. That's not my type of style on anything I do in life, but I don't discourage doing it. If you really have no idea about food, the nutrients in food and calories in various food, get yourself a little base. Yeah, maybe you want to pay attention a little bit more in the beginning. Like I say, I use the banana as my 100-calorie base, and since I eat so many mangoes average about 200 calories a piece. So once again, with the banana, some big-ass mangoes are probably a lot more than that. Some of them, you probably got some tiny mangoes that maybe are only half of that, but just kind of use your best judgment. And if you have another particular fruit, if bananas aren't your base, use that fruit that's your base and do that same thing. Get a rough estimation. But that's the best I can do right there as far as numbers and ratios and mixes and on stuff like that. I'm working on developing some recipes right now, but even that part is challenging because I know people are going to want exactly how many pieces of this did you put in there? And God, I never write stuff down. Like all the recipes, even the ones I've come up with, I make for myself, are probably not ever the same 2 times. Like if I make them 2 times in a row, it's not going to be exactly the same. I'll probably leave something out. I'll probably put more of this because I've got a taste for this today. But anyhow, stop obsessing about the numbers, the ratios, all that, and just embrace this lifestyle and embrace the beauty of doing it in a natural way. Otherwise, it's just another diet. You'll get bored, you'll get tired with it, and it won't be long term. So anyhow, just my 2 cents worth. I hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.